Hi, everybody. I'm looking out my window. I'm coming to you live from Vancouver, Washington. I've got sunshine. It's trying to turn into a nice afternoon on this Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you from Vancouver, Washington. So lots to cover today. We're going to, of course, take a look back at the wind reports and the rain reports from last night. We're going to look ahead to some sun and 60-degree temperatures starting tomorrow, Wednesday. But look at the title. March promises cold snaps, rainy days, colder, wetter than normal outlook. And we will look, as promised, at the March flow patterns, which look to be pretty active for the month of March. So let's get to it. By the way, again, before I switch pages, this was yesterday's visible picture of that low pressure system, and it was just a really impressive low, responsible for the wind, responsible for the severe thunderstorms that we had, hail in terms of 1 inch diameter in some of those storms. And now this is all moved up to the Canadian border up in North Washington and is weakening. But what an impressive visible image that was. Okay, let's get going. Here is kind of a snapshot of what the wind ranges were. So, Monday night wind reports. I thought my wind forecast was good. We talked about both at the coast and the valley, the worst of the winds picking up quickly into the evening hours and then potentially lasting through midnight. That did happen. We talked about the coast seeing upwards of 70-mile-per-hour winds. That did happen. Astoria 71, Newport 73. We talked about the valley winds being between about 40 and 50 miles per hour um, on average, with that long stretch of 4, 5, 6 hours, and there being some spotty potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds. That did happen. PDX 52, Salem, a peak gust of 46. Hillsborough 54, McMinnville, Scappoose 52, Vancouver 45. I'm not positive, but I'm surmising that this Clackamas County 60-mile-per-hour wind gust was a result of a severe thunderstorm that moved through that area. If you were in a spot with the device, you may have gotten some of the warnings from the Weather Service early Monday evening. They went with a number of tornado warnings. I talked to them this morning. No confirmation and no believed tornadoes in the area. Those warnings were issued based on rotation seen on radar. They turned out to be, some of them anyway, severe storms in terms of producing windy, damaging winds to 60 miles per hour and large hail. Again, I think it was Clackamas County as well. They had that 1 inch diameter hail report. And some of the storms themselves are moving across the ground at 40, 50, even 60 miles per hour. So, pretty impressive. Luckily, no tornadoes. Dallas 45, Estacada 48. I did not get a wind report out of Cowlitz County, so I put Olympia on here 49 just to show that you folks in Kelso and Longview probably had 40 to 50-mile-per-hour winds, much like Portland did. So part of my forecast that was not good. We mentioned the lightning, but I just mentioned it. I did not prepare anybody for these big thunderstorm clusters that developed and turned severe. And for that, I apologize. But the wind forecast overall was right on the money. Okay, here's a look at the rain totals. This is just the 48-hour period ending this morning. Portland 1.55, Tillamook 2.77, North Bend 1.21, Pendleton under a quarter of an inch, Eugene over an inch, Bend 31/100ths. And then you jump up into Washington, Vancouver less than 1 1/4, but Kelso 1.84 and just under an inch in Seattle. Now, the PDX rain total, if you go all the way back to Saturday afternoon when this rain started, the atmospheric river Saturday, Sunday, then we had the dry break Sunday night. Then we had all the rain that kicked in Monday that started to wrap up this morning. Through early morning, that's a 2.61 inch rain report. Pretty impressive. None of the daily amounts were records. February in Portland now stands at 4.27 inches, which is over an inch above normal. And again, the peak wind gust at the airport yesterday in Portland was 52 miles per hour. Okay, all this brought to you by the Momentous Wealth Podcast. Listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify, and you'll find a library of investment topics to choose from, meant to educate you. Brought to you by Momentous Wealth Management, a local firm licensed in Oregon and in Washington. Okay, so these are the 2 o'clock observations. Just kind of show you where we're at on this Monday. 50-degree temperatures. The winds have really faded. Even at the coast, the winds are now gusting under 25 miles per hour. We still have some valley winds. There's Salem up to 25, southwest gust to 25. But all of the wind advisory for the valley and the wind warning for the coast both were allowed to expire as expected at 4 a.m. this morning. Now, there is still a wind warning up, last I checked, until 4 p.m. for parts of central Oregon, but it hasn't been that windy. Bend southwest at 23. I've never seen Bend show much wind. There is a wind advisory, however, by the time you get up into Pendleton. And this is where the winds have been significant. For the last 4, 5, 6 hours, pretty consistently gusting to 40 or better. Hermiston still to 46 at 2 p.m., Pendleton at 41. The wind warning set to expire at 4 p.m., and your winds should be fading away at that time. Here's the, now let's talk about what's coming up. This is great loop. Look at that low. Look at it spin and spin. There's the track straddling the Canadian border, and notice how it just weakens. Seattle at noon today still had winds gusting up into the 40s, but their winds will be calming as well. And then it looks like there's another system coming, but see the contours at 18,000 feet? See the ridging right in here? That's going to hold that next batch of clouds off. And that gives us a dry Wednesday hitting 60, a dry Thursday, maybe some cloudiness from this, but overall, I think Thursday is partly to mostly sunny and 60. And then as this system falls apart, we still have dry weather on Friday, and we still get up into the 60s. And then the next storm system weakens tremendously, but does bring us a threat of showers developing during the day on Saturday. So the satellite picture is a little deceptive because it looks like, wow, the storms are lining up, but not really. We're going to see what we call some buckling or ridging in the flow pattern, and that's going to give us some dry windows of time. With the showers completely ending at some point later today and this evening, and the winds going fairly calm, and partial clearing taking place, it will be cold when you wake up Wednesday morning. Here's the National Blended Model. This is tomorrow morning. This shows temperatures in the Willamette Valley holding just above freezing, 34, 36. 39. But absolutely, I think it's possible that we'll see some spotty, freezing, frosty temps in the morning. This does show temperatures near freezing in the Dalles, 35 out in Hood River, holding closer to 40 along the Oregon coast, and just as cold up in Seattle, 34, as we'll see down here in the Portland area. And then you can see temperatures in the 20s out east and then down in southwestern corner of our state, mid 40s, it looks like, along the coast. There's some temperatures in the Cascades, some of the valley areas, 33, 32. So, all right, that's your low temperatures for tonight. It will not be as cold Thursday morning and not as cold Friday morning. So if we're going to see freezing temps in the valley and out in the gorge, it would be overnight tonight. Okay. So really the coming days are great, and I'll show you the 7-day forecast. Here's that flow pattern I promised, and we'll go into March. This is the American GFS model, and I will tell you the European model is similar. It just doesn't have the same timing, meaning the cold troughs aren't landing on the same days, but the number of cold troughs and active flows is roughly matching the GFS. That's the European I'm talking about. Here is the American GFS model. I'm going to jump and start this on March 5th. Okay, the blue is the polar jet contour. Up to our north, here's a pretty chilly low, though, off the coast, giving us some rain, temperatures in the 40s, snow levels potentially below Cascade passes. And then that moves on. And then here's another system that moves into us. This is March 9th. This is cold. Here's the polar jet, 540, 37, 34, 31. That's cold. That's a snow level that could be closer to 1,000 feet than 2,000 feet. I think the surface features I looked at show more of a westerly flow, so it would be a cold rain with temperatures in Portland, perhaps low to mid 40s at best. Well, low to mid 40s for March 9th for a high is cold. That's 10 degrees below normal. And certainly snow levels closer to 1,000 feet than 2,000 feet is really low. Great news for spring skiing up in the Cascades, without doubt. Okay, and then look at this. Boy, that is a son of a gun, isn't it? 504 pressure height low. Again, it's a westerly southwest flow for Portland, but we are in the cold zone. Let's see what happens. This is the 10th. This far out, almost any forecaster would make the strong assumption that this is way overdone. So that's not that believable. And this shows that low kind of stalling and hanging out and then really weakening. But let me back this up. This definitely bears watching. This is March 10th, 11th, into the 12th. Snow levels close to 1,000 feet. Daytime highs at least 10 degrees colder than normal. Could there be at least a snow mix at lower elevations? We'll see. And then look at this active pattern. Here's March 13th. There's another system dropping down out of Canada and the Gulf of Alaska, and it too is almost too cold to believe. Again, snow levels well below 2,000 feet. This is mid-March for crying out loud. Daytime highs doing well to be 43, 44, 45. Hard to believe. Here's another system. Good grief. So you get the idea. That's March 19th. That this is a very active and certainly well below normal temperature projection for the month and above normal preset. So just real quick look at air masses. This just shows you air masses, and this is the European model. We'll start March 5th. This is giving you 7-day averages. So there's that cold air that kind of agrees with what the European, or excuse me, the American GFS was showing. And look how the cold air just kind of sits over the west. It's almost a cutoff pocket. Now we've got cold air on March 13th coming out of Canada and kind of extending across really most of the US except for the Gulf Coast states. Now look at this. This is getting into mid-March. This is March 16th. Look at this very much below normal cold air mass setting up over Canada, a large air mass blanketing Canada and starting to drop down over the US, including Oregon and Washington, into March 20th. Could there be some record snow mid-March? It doesn't take much to set records in March for snow because it's rare, absolutely rare, for Portland to even get a trace of snow beyond the first 7 days of the month. So we'll see. This is what the National Weather Service, their March outlook calls for. This is the March outlook from NOAA and the National Weather Service. Look where we are in the highest confidence of below normal temperatures, Western Oregon and much of Washington. And look where we are, one of the highest confidences, along with the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley, of seeing above normal precipitation. So what I just showed you, big time thumbs up for a mammoth spring skiing season up on Mount Hood. My goodness gracious. And a really soaking March, maybe 5 inches of rain, and temperatures that could average easily 3 degrees below normal mean temperature potentially for the month of March. Okay. All right. Pretty interesting, I think. Let's go around the horn. Let's just tomorrow, 64 in Medford, sunny, 65 Thursday, 66 Friday. This is a 3-day run of great weather coming. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, chance of rain, but not bad really over the upcoming weekend. What's Ben doing? How about the sun on Wednesday? How about 61 Thursday, 65 Friday, about 60 on Saturday, chance of rain on Sunday. Really nice stretch of weather coming. Pendleton, your wind warning expiring later today. I'm going to cover up the misspelling of Pendleton up there that I cannot control. It's an auto feed from NOAA. I know it. 56 Wednesday, 57 Thursday, 58 Friday. Chance of some rain developing over the weekend, but that's a pretty nice mild forecast no matter how you slice it. Oregon's capital city, 61 Wednesday, 63 Thursday, 63 Friday. Again, tomorrow morning, Salem could be closer to 33, 34, 35 than 39. There's going to be some cold spots in Marion County. There's rain developing Saturday, but maybe not until later in the day, and then likely showers Saturday night and Sunday. I believe what I'm looking at on paper shows about 1/4 of an inch of total rainfall for this upcoming weekend. Eugene, more Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 60. Gorgeous. My goodness, great. Chance of showers building in over the weekend, but not a strong system. It's a weak splitting system. Here's Seattle. Nice Wednesday. Remember that system that I said that we get some ridging and it kind of holds it off Thursday? Well, this does produce a chance of showers up in Washington, up around Seattle. We'll see. Friday, 56, back to dry, and then showers coming in over the weekend. Not a bad forecast at all. Here's North Bend. Oh, wow, look at this. 62 Wednesday, 60 Thursday, could be 60 on Friday. Then some rain coming in over the weekend. All right. Let's see here. Let's just jump to my Portland 7-day forecast, shall we? Oh, I know what I want to show you real quick. Is snow levels have fallen down to 3,000 feet. So Government Camp was snow covered this morning. Now it's 33 and the pass is in good shape. Santee Anna's in good shape. There's Willamette in good shape. Cabbage Hill, they're all in good shape. So with dry weather coming, outside of some icy spots tonight and tomorrow morning, the Cascade passes will be fine. The new snow they picked up last night and this morning, 8 inches of timberline, 6 at Meadows, and 4 at Ski Bowl. Mount Hood Meadows was closed today because at 6 o'clock this morning, They still had 91-mile-per-hour winds at 6,000 feet. Wow. Okay. Here's Portland 7-day, courtesy of Hazeldale Tire Pros. My Mount Hood forecast, by the way, courtesy of Hillcrest Ski and Sports Shop. That's in Gresham, one of the biggest shops in our area. You can rent gear, buy gear, including all the attire that you need. And then Hazeldale Tire Pro sponsors my 7-day forecast. Okay. Great to have sponsors. It costs me quite a bit of money for development and to keep this weather site going, which I rely heavily on for the other private meteorology I do. So I really appreciate you supporting my sponsors when you can. If you live up in Clark County, Hazeldale Tire Pros on Highway 99 for your tire needs. Really nice people that have been there a long time. They know what they're doing. All right, showers in today, and there's the sunshine. 35 in Portland tonight, maybe some freezing numbers in the valley. But look at that, 60, 62, 64. Saturday could be dry in the Rose City until later in the afternoon, potentially. Ultimately, the timing of showers on Saturday is uncertain. I think the morning's dry, and then we'll see how long we go into the afternoon. Scattered showers overnight, sun and scattered showers Sunday. Could be a quarter of an inch all total. And then right now I show a dry Monday. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'm getting close to 9,000 subscribers. It really helps me out. You'll be notified when I post. For those of you that have subscribed and that watch my videos, it means a lot to me. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.